In this video, I'll be showing how to place rear wheel cylinders on a Nissan Sentra. They are located behind the rear drums, behind the rear wheels. Let's get started. Safely raise and support the rear of the vehicle. Now we could go on and remove our 5 21mm lug nuts. Now that our vehicle is raised and supported and our wheels off, we go ahead and locate the drum. If it's heavily corroded, get some penetrant and spray it along the hub. This is to help out during removal. Spin for a new spot every occasional hit. Gonna start off here. Now we can slide our drum off. Set it aside. Now that my brake drum's off, I can locate my shoes and springs. I'll be removing this bottom spring first. I'll be using some circular needle nose pliers. Go around it. And pull out. Quick inspection and set it aside. Now I'm going to remove my top spring with the same circular needle nose pliers. Just come in here. Around the spring and pull it out. We can set this aside. Now I'm going to pull the brake shoe back and remove my adjuster. Also set this aside. Now I'm going to remove my right shoe. Now I could pull out my left shoe. And undo the parking brake connections. Simply just push, pull it out. And there it is. Now I'm going to remove my pins. Just pull them out from the back. And set these aside. Now we can move along the back side of the drum and locate the wheel cylinder and its brake line. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up with a 10mm. Be sure to have a collection pan ready, as this may drain out some brake fluid. So keep turning counterclockwise. Now we could pull out our brake line. Set it aside. I'm going to locate my two 10mm mounting bolts for the wheel cylinder and remove those. Now for the other bolt. Quick note, we are replacing this because our bleeder screw has broken. Now let's remove it. Dispose of it properly. Now to prep our mating surface, I'll be using a wire brush. And do the same on the back. Slide it in and thread in the bolts. The bleeder goes up. Now I'm just going to snug these down. Once it stops, go a quarter turn. And make sure it's secure. Now I can move to the back side of the wheel cylinder and reinstall my brake line. Just gonna simply put it in. and turn clockwise. Make sure it is going in straight. And just snug it up for now. Now I'm going to take some brake cleaner and a rag to clean the surfaces. Make sure you clean where the brake fluid went. And that looks good. Now I'm going to take some brake cleaner and clean the whole area before I reinstall my parts. Make sure you have a collection bucket underneath. Now before we install our brake shoes and brake drum, I'm going to go ahead and clean all the mating surfaces. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Now to lubricate my mounting points. Just a slight dab of lubricant. And that looks good. Now let's install our left brake shoe. The silver side goes facing inward and the tab is in the bottom. Slide your pin on. So push in and make sure the spring seat's in the tab. Now let's go ahead and clean our lower mounting points. And now let's lubricate them. I'll also be lubricating the wheel cylinder. So do the bottom first. And now for the wheel cylinder. Now let's position our shoe. Now that the e-brake's on and my surfaces are clean, I'm going to take my shoe, install the spring, make sure the rod is pointing down, pull it up, and now get my other shoe, install it on its corner, make sure it's fully seated. Now we can pull and slide over the shoe and push in. Hold both of them with your hand and install your pins. Place it on and we can leave it there for now. Now with some brake cleaner and a rag, I'm going to clean my holder, clean the threads and the mating surfaces, and I'll lubricate them. Some on the threads and on the mating surfaces. Now to install. The short sides point out, the long sides point towards the vehicle. If you find that it's too long, you can just thread it in for now, and we'll adjust it right after. Slide it in. I can slide them both in. Slide in your pin. We'll fix the alignment right after. I'm going to slide it in. I'll repeat the process for the other side. Make sure the shoe is in the middle of the wheel cylinder. Align the hole. We'll leave that for now. We're going to align the shoes. Make sure they're in the center of the wheel cylinder. Push in, make sure they align in the bottom. Now we could turn these 45 degrees pointing outwards. And now for our lower spring. I'll be using the same circular needle nose pliers. Slide it in this hole. So I'm just going to pull it. I'm going to hold the shoe while I'm pulling. I'm going to release and then push it in. Make sure it fully seats. If this doesn't align, simply take a flat blade screwdriver and adjust it, pry on the tab. There's 2 tabs here, just pry and maneuver until it does. Now I'm going to clean the mating surface on the hub to the drum with a wire brush. Now I'm going to apply some anti-seize. Before we test fit our drum, we're going to go ahead and transfer the rubber grommet for the adjuster from our old drum. It's on this one right here with the groove. Simply just push in and make sure it's flush. Now we can test fit. Now I'm going to test fit my drum. I'm simply going to slide out and see how much resistance I have. If I have too much, I'm going to have to back off on the adjuster, and if I have too little, I'm going to tighten it. That's about perfect, so we're good. Now before I put my wheel back on, I'm going to clean the drum with some brake cleaner and a rag. Now that everything's put back together, we're going to go ahead and gravity bleed our brakes. Going to take a bottle with a hose, remove the bleeder screw cap, set it aside. I'm going to put the hose over the bleeder and crack it open. I'm using a 8mm wrench. Now that we see a clean stream of fluid, we're going to close our bleeder screw. We're just going to snug it up. Remove the hose and reinstall your cap. Now we're going to proceed to the inside of the vehicle. We're going to apply the brakes. If they are still spongy, we're going to proceed with a full brake bleed. We're going to go ahead and open our hood and locate the brake fluid reservoir and the master cylinder. Going to be taking this cap off. I'm going to set it aside for now. Now I'm going to fill up the reservoir with some clean .3 brake fluid. The max line is right here. So just fill up until it reaches it. You can see I hit my max line. Reinstall your cap. Now to reinstall the wheel. Now we're going to reinstall our 5 21mm lug nuts. We're going to want to snug these up in a crisscross pattern. Now that my wheel's on the ground, I'm going to torque my fasteners to 83 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. We're We're going to go ahead and open our hood and locate the brake fluid reservoir and the master cylinder. Going to be taking this cap off. I'm going to set it aside for now. Reach down in here with your finger and remove the filter. Just pull it up. Now that our screen's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and remove as much fluid as I can from the master cylinder. I'll be using a fluid extractor. Now I'm going to reinstall my screen. I'm going to slide it in. Make sure it's fully seated in the filler neck. Now I'm going to fill up the reservoir with some clean .3 brake fluid. The max line is right here. So just fill up until it reaches it. You can see I hit my max line. To start off our brake bleed, I'm going to begin at the right front and then proceed to the left front. Then I'm going to proceed to the brake fluid reservoir and top it off. After that, I'm going to go to the right rear, then the left rear, and do the same at the brake reservoir, top it off. Now that our wheel's off, I'm going to go ahead and locate the brake caliper and the bleeder screw. There's a cap on it. I'm going to remove it and set it aside. Now I have access to my bleeder screw, which is a 10mm. I'm going to get a bottle with a silicone hose. So now I have access to my bleeder screw. I'm going to install the hose on it. I'm going to crack it loose to get some brake fluid going and to verify it's actually flowing. So I'm going to crack it loose. You can see we have some brake fluid trickling down. I'm going to close it again. Before we start the brake bleed, I have somebody in the passenger compartment. To start, I'm going to have them pump the brake approximately 3 to 5 times. I'm going to advise them to hold it while I crack the bleeder screw loose. We're going to do this until we see clean brake fluid flowing through our line. I have a collection receptacle under the car just in case any brake fluid comes out. Pump it.
Holding.
I'm going to crack loose.
Floor.
Okay. Release. Pump.
Holding. Floor.
Okay, release.
Holding.
And release. I'm going to make sure my bleeder screw is snug. I'm going to remove the hose. Now that the hose is off and the bleeder is tight, I'm going to go ahead and get some brake cleaner, spray the area down, and wipe it down with a clean rag. Now I'm going to install my bleeder cap. Now that I bled the first 2 brakes, you can see our level has fallen down a bit. I'm going to go ahead and top this off again. So you can see now it's back to the max line. I'm going to reinstall my cap. Twist clockwise and make sure it's secure. Now that my master cylinder is topped off, I'm going to make my way to the right rear, locate the bleeder screw, remove the cap, and set it aside. Now I can look at my bleeder screw. Do the same process. This one is an 8mm. I'm going to put my wrench on there. And now my bottle with the hose. I'm going to crack it loose to make sure I have flow. And close it. And now we can start bleeding. Pump it.
Holding.
Okay. Open.
Floor.
Okay. Closed.
Holding.
Open.
Floor.
And closed.
Holding.
Open.
Floor.
And closed. As you can see, I have no more bubbles and my fluid is clean. We're going to repeat the process for the left rear side, and then we're going to top off one more time. I'm going to take some brake cleaner and a rag to clean the area. Make sure it's secure, just snug it up. And reinstall your cap. Now that we completed bleeding all of our brakes, you can see our level has gone down one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and top this off one more time. Remove the cap. And again, get the clean .3 and 4 brake fluid and top it off to the max line. Reinstall your cap. And that completes our 4-wheel brake bleed. Go ahead and reinstall your wheels, torque them to 83 foot-pounds, take the vehicle for a test drive, make sure your brake pedal is nice and firm, and thank you for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.